Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp. is a Canadian-based mineral exploration project generator. The company currently holds multiple property interests in Ontario with joint venture partners and is seeking further joint venture partners for other drill-ready properties in our portfolio. For more information, please visit our website at rmroyalty.com or call me at 604-922-2030.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on maven.net/MishTalk. Welcome back to the show, Mish, and happy Independence Day.
Oh, happy Independence Day to you as well, coming up.
Of course, but we know it'll be full of fireworks. And, of course, we have Canada Day just a couple of days before that. So for Canadians and Americans, because we love to visit across the border, we get 2 holidays in 1 week.
There you go. I can't beat that.
Mish, is there anything that President Trump has done that's been good for America since he gained power?
I think so, Jim. That's a fair question. He, of course, if you listen to all of his fans, everything he's done is good. And, of course, if you listen to all of his detractors, he hasn't done a single good thing. I think he's made 2 very good appointments to the U.S. Supreme Court. I was opposed to one of them at the beginning. I changed my mind quickly. Actually, one day, issued a retraction, said I got this thing wrong, that Kavanaugh would probably be the best we could possibly ever hope for a balanced court. And indeed, his decisions since then have turned that up. The entire silliness around that, none of the complaints against him were credible at all. And if the Democrats would have actually looked at what would have happened had they managed to block Kavanaugh, the next nominee would likely have been extreme right wing. So I can praise Supreme Court appointments. You know, I can probably find a few other minor things, but a lot of it came with over drama. You know, I replaced NAFTA with something that was literally just the equivalent of it, and now that might not even pass. Now he might be stuck with. So all of this stuff, I disagree with his methods, the way he does things. He certainly has no trade deals whatsoever worth bragging about. It's some things he's said and done. You know, he's trying to win some wars. He certainly didn't escalate in Syria. That was a good thing, nor did he bring the troops home. He's sort of middle on some of these things. So he's done some good things, not many. He's done some bad things, how bad we can debate. His worst one, in my opinion, is Iran. I think he walked away from a good deal.
The G20 meeting is coming up in Japan. Will he come back home with a trade deal with China?
And it depends on how much he's willing to cave in. I don't think so. Again, this is another one of these things. If they work out a deal, it's likely going to be the same deal that China offered them 6 months ago, except there's more drama to it now. So he might get out of it what he wants, some extra little tidbit, which he will overbrag beyond belief if he does. But, you know, it's the same thing with Mexico. He added a lot of drama, put tariffs on, took more tariffs off, put them back on, took them off, put them back on, and now they're off again. And now he's bragging about a deal with Mexico that essentially they agreed to 6 months ago. There's no more to it than that. Arguably, one might say that Mexico wasn't going to honor it until he did this. This is all debatable stuff, and just way too much drama. One thing Trump certainly does right, at least from the view of his supporters, is he's agitated the Democrats beyond belief, and some of the ways in which they're responding to what he does makes them look like fools.
Did China need some prodding, though, to improve the trade balance or the trade relation with the U.S.? Were some of the measures needed to, quote, get their attention?
Well, they haven't done anything yet.
Okay.
So Trump has no successes. Now, both sides have been hurt here. It's clear that Trump's inflicted a lot of pain on China, but the opposite is also true. You know, we can get into one of these games, Jim, you know, which side is losing more, but since when is losing less winning? It's not. No one wins trade wars. That's where we are today. Now, what we're seeing happening is a disruption in global supply chains. Companies are moving out of China to Vietnam, to Malaysia, Singapore, someplace else, anywhere else, just to escape these tariffs, huge and threats of tariffs. iPhones, you know, assembly is moving from China to Taiwan. So how exactly does that help the U.S.? It doesn't. It does hurt China, but China also stopped buying soybeans. There's huge anti-U.S. sentiment right now in China. Zero Hedge had a post out today. I didn't investigate it yet. Showed the Chinese burning the U.S. flag. You know, this sentiment matters over there. You know, a lot more than it does here. You know, and if the state over there says, you know, don't buy U.S. products, well, you know, guess what? They don't. They don't import them either. So, trade data has certainly not shown that Trump is winning anything. The balance of trade has not improved at all since Trump's put on these moves. So where's the win? There is no win. And there won't be any win. To trade, no one wins trade wars. That's it. That's the bottom line.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after the break.
Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
Grand Portage Resources' Herbert Gold Project in southeast Alaska highlights increased gold resource, indicated and inferred, of 860,000 ounces, in excess of 10 grams per ton gold. Expansion drilling is planned on the Herbert Gold property for the summer of 2019. Grand Portage Resources trading symbols are GPG on the TSX Venture, GPTRF on the OTCQB, and GPB on Frankfurt. For more information, please visit our website, grandportage.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mike Shedlock. Mish, Brexit. Is Boris Johnson going to be the next Prime Minister of Britain? And does it make any difference as the deadline of October 31st looms?
The Johnson, unless he dies, gets into an accident, some other gruesome thing like that, is going to be the next PM. So, you know, I want to say 100%. It's not 100%. He might die. You know, some things might happen. But barring some sort of accident, let's put it that way, he is going to be the next Prime Minister. Now, is there a chance to stop no-deal Brexit if that's what Johnson wants? The answer to that is no. I thought there was a roughly 7-day window in which it was theoretically possible for that to happen. And it all goes down to very determined math. If let's say Johnson were to lose a vote of no confidence, they have 14 days to try and get another government in there. Let's assume it fails, and then there is a 25 working day mandate to hold an election. I worked that back and arrived at September 11th. But I was incorrect because elections in the UK apparently are held on Thursday. Not sure if that's a requirement or just a formality. They usually do, but assuming that they're held on Thursday, then October 31st is a Thursday. The chance for an election before that is 1 week earlier. So now we need to strike 7 days off of the timeline that I concluded, and you run into Parliament. It is going to be in recess until September 3rd, and so this would give them a roughly 1 or 2 days window in which to hold this vote of no confidence. Everything then would have to happen immediately, if not sooner, to get an election off and get someone else in office before the October 31st deadline. Some UK historians have concluded it's mathematically impossible. I will say that it is impossible within a day or so. There's no time there.
So they will end up with a no-deal Brexit, whether they like it or not.
No, no, not at all. The position is if Johnson wants a no deal, he can get one no matter what Parliament does. There's no queenly intervention here. There's no Parliament interventions that can possibly take place to stop it if that's what he wants. On the other hand, if he wants a warmed over Theresa May deal, he can probably get that too. I don't believe that's what he wants. I take him seriously that he is willing to walk away. And game theory, it is only by being willing to walk away and have the other side know you're willing to walk away can there actually be a good deal. My expectation, Jim, is for a good deal, or at least a fair deal or a reasonable deal of some kind, and it has to do with Ireland. The backstop was immense by Barnier, that's the EU's chief negotiator here on Brexit, was put in his words, to apply permanent pressure on the UK. Now, people in the UK ought to take Barnier seriously when he said that, because it is all on film. But some people just don't care. They want to remain anyway, or they want a customs union like Corbyn does. But now what's happened is, if Johnson is serious about walking away with the no-deal Brexit, a lot of people have determined the hit to Ireland, which does want to remain in the EU, would be about 4% of GDP. So, will the EU throw Ireland under the bus and be totally unwilling to come up with some alternative arrangements for a backstop? I suggest no, because they won't. They don't want to throw a strong, staunch supporter of the EU under the bus. Two, we've got a problem huge problems with Italy in defiance of EU's budget rules. We have a huge chance of recession. I believe the EU is already in recession, and we have feuding over who is going to be the next president of the ECB. And finally, we have German exporters extremely concerned, not just German, but EU exporters, extremely concerned about collapsing exports to the UK. So all of those things, we've got a huge mess. All of these put, instead of pressure on the UK, if the EU is genuinely willing to walk away, all of these things actually put pressure on the EU. So Johnson can reverse the pressure simply by being firm and believable that he will walk away. Hunt is not believable. That's Jeremy Hunt. That's Boris Johnson's. Those are the two final people running to be the next head of the UK. Johnson is not believable. He voted to remain. He 3 times voted for Theresa May's deal. The EU would run roughshod over this clown, which is what I call him, rather than Boris Johnson. So, but it won't come to that. Johnson's the overwhelmingly likely choice. If Johnson is genuinely not lying and genuinely willing to walk away with no deal, he can get a deal. It is only by being willing to walk away can you actually get a good deal.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after this.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp, MGI and the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected several high-grade gold intersections, including 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. Additional drill targets on the LH property have been identified by a 2018 drone airborne magnetic survey to further evaluate a pyrrhotite-enriched gold-bearing system. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mike Shedlock. Mish, what's the state of U.S. real estate when it comes to new home sales?
Wow. The last numbers were kind of shocking. Down about 8% nationally, but 36% of that is in the West. So is this some sort of anomaly? Is this something that is going to be revised away? Which direction, though? The West up or the rest of the country down? So it does suggest that home sales have hit a brick wall. Hardly surprising here, despite falling interest rates. The simple reason that homes are not affordable. We have manufacturing that is clearly faltering here. The regional Fed reports, which I don't pay too much attention to in general, but they are all suggesting the same thing, a clear turn down in manufacturing. We have a turn down in shipping, as reported by the Cass Freight Index, and it's not just the U.S., it's global. It's collapsed in China. So the EU industrial production numbers have been horrific. So we've got all of these things all signaling the same thing, a slowdown. The only thing right now that's kind of kept up is U.S. retail sales. Now, the interesting thing about that, GDP report came out today, the third and final, until more revisions come in a couple of years or so, estimate of first quarter GDP came in at 3.1%, what the economists expected. They hit the number right on the mark for a change. But retail sales were revised half a percentage point lower. They made this up on rising inventories and rising balance of trade that was a one-off in the first quarter that's not going to be repeated. So second quarter GDP is not looking so great. although the estimates right now are still around 2%. So we'll see. The one thing holding up retail spending, in my opinion, has been the stock market. And baby boomer retirements. Boomers are retiring. They're going out there buying their last car or whatever, which I believe has held up car sales. So we have a couple of artificial things there. As soon as the stock market starts to decline in earnest, we are going to see a huge decline in retail spending, and housing is already faltering. So that'll be it. We will be in recession. The Fed, no doubt, is trying to support the stock market, but the longer it supports it, the bigger the next crash is going to be. I use that word lightly. I don't expect a crash. I expect a prolonged downturn.
Mish, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Pleasure to be on the show, Jim, and we'll catch you next time.
Happy holiday season. My guest has been Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on maven.net/Mish Talk. If you have any questions for Mish or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet, our YouTube channel, Talk Digital Network. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.